Alright, so yeah, I'm missing Pinky because they're persons, and I'm missing thumb. I have the missing thumb. I'm gonna get another Pinky to replace it. But anyways, um, I'm here not because I planned on doing this, but because I realized it may be necessary, right? In my most recent post, technically I wasn't going to make any more YouTube videos. Literally don't have any more computer space for another lengthy video. And my last tweet and post on Instagram was supposed to be the last one until the promises. So this wasn't necessary until I'm there now to tell my friends, like these people they're great, about what's happening and what I recently did, And I realized maybe I need to explain certain things about it, because I realized what I may have said, knowing what I have, my intention behind it, not a lot of people. I'm not worried about it, but I may need to explain that part. Technically, I think I only need to explain one part, nothing more. Literally just one part, and that's the only part I'm explaining. Because the first part, telling Pastor Michael Todd to give me my fucking money, that don't need an explanation. Simple as that. It's mine because God, it says it's mine. Wherever it is, God will provide it. Whether it's the money that you're supposed to give and everything else, you know what else God is telling you, because He already told me from last year what He will do already through you. So you just need to be obedient. So I don't need to say anything else but say, give me my fucking money. And the last part about Miss World, just claiming what God said, and maybe realize I should have been claiming it from long ago. But anger, fear. So that's that. So that part's explained. However, when I started looking back at the middle part, that is addressed to Mr. Raheem Fowler, I realized, whoa, it made me look very like. But at the same time, I'm not worried, because if God was going to provide a replacement, I ain't worried that the other guy would think I'm just what do you call it, arrogant, or want to wear the pants or whatever. I don't care. I don't care, because one, that person, I'm pretty sure, will see my value and realize I'm not like that. Two, that is everything I put there is stipulated for Raheem only. 3, I know what I'm doing. But let's bring some perspective, so y'all can understand that I know what I'm doing. And I realize how I sounded in the, the part that I would have sent him last year. Mind you, there's 2 different notes. One that I wrote in the tweet. That is my mindset now. Because right now I'm just like, even if he was in front of my face, half of the time I don't even want to talk to him. I'm just, ugh. Like, literally just like, ugh. And if I'm in my feelings, it's a whole different thing. But all the other time, just like, disgusted, which is completely opposite of what I've always thought of him. That's his and God's problem, not mine, right? So the tone of the tweet itself, not the attachment, is literally, okay, just do this shit. So I know you, whatever, and then just be like, and whatever else, right? But the tone of the attachment was last year, before God even told me I'm married. And God was like, alright, he's your future husband. And we're going to be in a relationship till we're married. I'm just like, alright, let's set some groundwork, because like this is just so messed up. And in my head, I'm like, alright, let's set up these. Well, even God guide me to set these up. So I'm like, alright, these are the things I'm concerned about. Because, mind you, I'm trying to get a conversation with him for the longest time. And he's just always like, too busy, we'll talk, too busy. Not being upfront with me like, I have a girlfriend. Not even that. So in my head, I'm like, you know what? You don't want to have the conversation, I'll just set the law in. We could have the conversation where I'm like, yo, I don't like when you did this, and is this how you do it? And if he's like, no, this is not, I'm like, oh, okay, and I know I don't have to worry. But we don't have the conversation. So these are things that I see he did with me, and concerns I have based on what he did with me, and he had a girlfriend, or things he told me and I'm like, bruh, and I'm like, things I realize he's doing that he's not setting up for him. I'm like, then I realize in his history, I'm like, what? So these are what I set up. Okay, before I go into detail, I must put a disclaimer. I came to a realization for some days now. Well, more like I've come to an exception, because I come to the realization from last year and I was just like, God, why you choose me? Like God. But I've come to the acceptance of the reality of my journey and the responsibility and why now God is asking me to be public and detailed about every little thing. So I've come to the acceptance of that and the reality, but not everybody has that is going to be involved, and that's fine. However, I'm going to share some things they're not gonna like, but that's what needs to be done. And I still have put some protection to it, because I'm not one to want to rat out anybody on everything like that, but it's necessary to my point. Okay, now we get that clear. One, the reason why I overshare is because I have to, and the reality and the responsibility and the understanding of where the significance of this journey that God has chosen for me, and those who will be directly involved in it too. But everybody's not there yet, and I am there, and I have to. So fine. But yes, let's now break down the one that I wrote last year, because that one very, very and it's going to be revealing. You see, the first part, because I'm just basing on memory, I'm not going to go scroll back. The first part involves exes or girlfriends. I don't know the details. I ain't going down that road. That's not my business. My business is when he becomes my business, then everything else become my business. Everybody else is irrelevant. Point is, I made that stipulation because I know him enough to know that he's easily manipulated. And if he's telling me, when he had a girlfriend in 2020, oh, there's this girl who was an ex who was stalking man, this and that, and he's not able to set up boundaries by changing number, all these different... What? So I made sure to stipulate, you know what, some have that drama of exes trying to jump back because they miss, or exes who can't get the reality of things. This is what you need to do, okay? Because if I'm trying to get you to have a conversation so we can already agree, all right, fine, you don't want to, see there, this is what not. And here's the thing, before I go into the rest, I ain't even going through nobody's phone. I ain't checking up. Me not asking if you come to me about nothing. Him can voluntarily tell me. Me not. But if me stumble upon somebody tell me or me find out whether it's accidental or got inspired, that's a whole different story. Me not play. As you can see, I don't play, but there's a reason why I said these things, and that's what I'm explaining. Now for the next section. The next section talk about female friends. I'm all for male and females can be friends, and they are genuine friendships, right? So I'm not going to tell nobody no male not supposed to be friends with female. I'm never going to say that. There are genuine friendships that transcend romance between male and female, because that's not everything. Not every male and female friendship is going to go there, and I am a believer in that. However, I ain't stupid. And then my section that's all. We talk about female friends, excluding including our ex. I remember what I said. That part now is specifically made because of experience I had with him. 1, 2, and what he chose to claim it is. Instead of telling me or anybody else that he was just confused, I really was falling, but I was just, my feelings were all over the place, I wasn't sure. No. His response to me is that, or anybody else's, we were friends. And let's be clear, it's not just that we were friends. When he telling me 2020. I keep saying it's like last year. 2020, when I'm like, yo, what do you tell Samantha if she was to ever ask you who I am to you? He's like, him my mother's friend. Me and my mother just there start be friend. Then I talk about, like certain things he tell me, he'll never tell her ever. Then, mind you, these are fine. Maybe there was more to it. But my thing is, he's so convinced, or he choose to say that me and him are friends. And mind you, in his head, he's like, we're just friends. I got to him and say, yo, we need to set boundaries because I realize I'm falling. And I'm setting boundaries to make sure I protect myself. I know business about him and the girlfriend. Him have to set them boundaries there. Even though despite that year, 2020, I have to be like, dude, you have a girlfriend. You have a girlfriend. I literally have to be like, yo, you have a girlfriend. And then he's like, in front, no, look behind the phone. Like, behind the phone, like he's like him shocked back to, oh, yes. What did I just do? Type thing. Where did my mind went? So, I remember one time, this was like early when my parents gone. And I texted him and said, yo, let's set some boundaries. So I think, I've ended up finding out he thinks I'm setting boundaries to protect his relationship or to help him on his relationship. I mean, business about your relationship? No. I'm busy about my feelings. I make sure me don't fall. So I'm telling him, let's set boundaries. And I'm trying to be serious here. And he's like, I'm like, don't come, like, one of the boundaries, don't come too close to my face. And then he's like this, like if to say, hey, it's fine. Right in that moment, my head spin, my heart race and whatever. And I'll be like, this nigga, like, you don't really, you don't really just cause? But that's just my feelings. We end up going, because him just a plain knife and I think, right? On top of that, him just a plain knife and I think. I'm like, yo, set boundaries. I'm trying to set boundaries. We end up a player even further. That same day me try to set boundaries to the point he might feel up my ass. I have to be like, boy, you have a girlfriend, and he's like, I just get caught up. I forgot. Mind you, that don't have no business with me, none of my girlfriend. My concern is like, in those moments, I'm like, I would never be with you. To know gotta tell me say my future husband. Hello, okay, fine. You gotta say, you're my future husband. At that time, that time I wrote it was last year. You're my future husband. Fine, this is the law. Because obviously you don't know how to set boundaries or to keep them. Boom. If you can't do these things with your male friend, don't do that with your female friend. Because obviously you are calling me your friend and I do them something here. And I could list on and on and on all the different things that transpired when he keeps saying, I'm friends. We're just friends. I have no feelings for you. So fine, if that's how you are. In my head, I'm like, yo, I don't deal with constantly have to worry about another significant other. No. I want to know we're fine so we can worry about other things. If I have to worry about those things, I'm gone. If it's not just I'm gone, I ain't stressing it. I'm literally removing the stress to move on to the other stresses of life. There's other shit to worry about. There's children, there's feelings, there's finances, there's business. Me not go to who I text you, who I call it. Me start reaching so So me not deal with them here. So then me have to wonder if you at work, wherever you work, and me not look on my future husband as him have to work a specific career or him have to work with me. Nah. You free to live your life or whatever. But if me have to worry, say, because females are workers, are going to be your co-workers, that it might like how the person look and be cool with the person. Must have great, because friendships have good, connection. You have good connection and now realize you need to set boundaries and you start doing things where you did with me. Excuse me? I don't. If it was up to me, it would have gone a long time. But now because God is like, whatever, fine. This is the law. And that's what I stipulated last year, and I still agree with it. And then let's talk about the last part. Let's be clear, I'm not even going into detail. He knows the details of that one. And when it's time, when he has accepted the reality of what God is asking of us, and more, it will be revealed. But he knows that one. And it's not just what transpired in the past with him. It's also what I've also realized, and I'm not trying to use what people say against someone, but I am trying to protect what God said is mine. And God said, this marriage is mine. I as I said, me not deal with them problem there. So me not in my back of my head, him go chill with best friend and me have to worry about nothing. Whether it's him or the other person. And because me know the history, based on what I've been told on both sides of his history of what they tend to do and entertain, especially with people who might or do want to fuck them. Mind you, this is a channel or a YouTube channel that only deal with 14 years and older. Let's be clear. Or 18, whatever the point is. So I'm going to use those words. I ain't playing. So I don't know her. I don't know what's in her heart or whatever. So that's why you see where it says I pray about it and to see, because you have a good friendship and relationship and realize there's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. I'm gonna move on with it. If there's something to worry about, me not even gonna worry about it. I removed the issue. I don't have to worry. And that is the point of my stipulations. Excuse me? I ain't stupid. If I have to deal with him motherfucking ass, if I, Daniel Dennis, who tired of them foolishness, still have to stuck with them because God not give me the rest of stuff them, or God not changing mine, or them a pray and they want their heart to change, whatever, but I still have to deal with them. They're human. And these are my rules and my stipulation. No. I don't do those kind of stress. And so this is why I'm protecting myself from those stress. All of those things is necessary and required. I don't care if I look controlling or whatever. Because at the end of the day, I ain't checking up on anything. But at the end of it all, if whatever reveals to me, because it's always revealed to me, either out of their own mouth or something else, or God bring it to me, I will know. And I don't need to go looking. I just set what I will not deal with, and I will leave it there for him to freely do or don't do. And if he freely does, we're good. And if him come and say yes, you ready to do what God said, you obviously know that's what he's agreeing with. Simple as that. And anybody who can see what I said and have a problem with it, it just sound okay, fine. It sounds very authoritative. This is the law. I get it. But what is wrong with what I said? You should be cutting off exes if you don't want to deal with them anymore. Unless you want to deal with them, then that's a whole different story. You should be dealing with female friends as just friends, and it should be platonic. That whatever you do with a female friend, you can do with a male friend. Done, that's all. It's not like you're... What can you do with... As a man with a female friend, what can you do that's different from a female? Maybe, okay, fine. If you want to share things that are more emotionally driven, while men tend to be fine. But you should still can do it with a friend, but they might make fun of you. If it's that you want to cry and your friend them will make fun of you, you still can do it. You just know so they're not very sportive. But you don't feel uncomfortable in the sense of. So yes. And the best friend thing, me and him know me I talk about. I mean, I use it against it. I'm just setting boundaries because I need to protect what God said is mine. Y'all can judge me. I know what I'm dealing with. And y'all will eventually find out in about 5 years time. You guys will be like, oh, what she alright? She know what she talking about. Now y'all will laugh and say whatever. I don't care. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. I'm not stupid.